welcome to the next episode of The Wind Down. I am sitting here with Chris Woodworth. How you doing, man?
Hey, great, thank you. Yeah, good to see you. Thank you for having me here.
Well, we always start the wind down with a very simple question. Did you bring your favorite drink?
Yeah, I don't usually have like an open glass in the studio, but cranberry juice, hello.
In 10 seconds, very quickly, give me a rundown. What do you do?
I am a full-time animator for LEGO video games and a part-time voice actor.
Okay, so taking it back, who or what got you into animation and voice acting?
Okay, in terms of video games, I discovered when I was going to go to start studying GCSEs that new university courses were being released. I saw the word animation, so I looked that up and I was fascinated. Just wow, this is something you can actually do as a job. I never really thought. I mean, the way they make Disney movies and computer games and things like that. So I focused all of my studies towards animation, whether it was art, um, acting, things like that. I studied animation at university, like a undergraduate course and uh, a master's course, as well. So it started off as hand-drawn animation. I was just inspired by so many artists and animators, really, and so I was kind of doing a almost hand-drawn Disney style. I initially kind of felt like, hey, it'll be quite good to go into the movies, even though it's really challenging. But then my mind opened up to video games when I found that, yeah, this is the way games are going now. Because around that time, I I wasn't exactly known to be a gamer or anything, but I could tell that they were starting to focus on storyline and really good emotional acting and just incredible journeys the characters go on. So they were treated like movies in a way, interactive movies. And so I learned that, yeah, this looks like it's more stable. There's going to be a lot of uh, uh, a lot of opportunities for this. So that's what I focused on. And yeah, voila, my second job in the industry and my longest job, my longest career, I'd say, working on the Lego video games. Everything from the first Lego Batman game to Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga.
So my next question was like probably your answer just there, but what was your first major gig that like really made you take a step back and go, oh, this is big.
Okay, it wasn't actually a Lego game.
Okay.
Like in terms of the animation, because I know I haven't mentioned the voice acting yet, but the first job that I got as an animator was at a studio in Manchester. It was called Image Metrics, but now it's called Cubic Motion, and it's a studio that focuses fully on like high quality, realistic facial animation. And they at the time, all I knew was that they'd worked on the Polar Express, and I didn't know what they were getting me to work on when I got the job there, my first job there. And yeah, lo and behold, I ended up spending about 6 months doing facial animation for Grand Theft Auto.
Sticking to animation just very quickly, what is your favorite part of the process of animation?
For me, I think it is working out the movement and performance. I mean, if you can imagine like having this visual in your head, maybe like even a funny idea or something that you find is just dramatic, to you, that fits the right tone, but you can actually put it on the screen and have other people see what was in your head. That is like just working that out. And at times I even film myself acting out what I want the characters to do. So yeah, and I've done that random times during working on any of the game's titles I've been working on. Yeah, so that's where I get very passionate about it.
I saw that I can't remember, there was a video reel somewhere that I saw of you mimicking the way you want, where you want, and like how your body moves in the animation. It was you as a reference, and it looked like you were just in a little, like, I don't know, break room. Talk me
Yeah.
through that exact moment. What was that for?
Yes, okay. That particular clip was a Lego Ninjago game, and yeah, I was taken. I can't remember what I was working on at the time, but I was put onto that game only just for a moment, just to help out with the workload. I was only given one cutscene, to work on, and yeah, it's just so I wasn't like at a loss, like in between games. It's a way to kind of keep you busy. We have like one or two projects going on at the same time, and basically I was directed on the scene, like being told about the different characters in there. We had the the voice over stuff, all the lines available, so I could hear what these actors sounded like, and and they had all of the characters, the cast of characters. They said that okay, they're arriving, they're being chased by these villains and everything like that, and he said just really try and make movements exaggerated. We really want to feel the characters, and by that time, that particular director, he knew that at times my best work seems to come out of me when I'm actually filming myself for reference. Because when I film myself for reference, that's where the actor in me comes out. Um, Lots of animators, maybe they have this amazing chip in their head where they just stay at their desk and they can actually put on the screen what they can visualize in their head. At times when I struggle, I actually go into a private room and I film myself acting it out. So I literally get physical with it. So I acted out all of the main characters in that cutscene that were actually speaking, that actually had a line. So I would kind of listen to what line it was, and I would really just try and get out of my own head and get into the character. And so I think it was almost like it was like, oh, come on, mom, I haven't forgotten everything. Oh, except my laundry, like that. So I was thinking like, okay, he's saying it in a passionate way, so my whole body would just kind of be like, oh, come on, mom, look, I, I haven't done that, and I'm just doing all this and everything, it's like, come on, I haven't forgotten everything. Oh, except my laundry, like that, and I'll just go over the top. And so the weird thing is that when you watch it back, the end result, you do see glimpses of me, even my expressions in there. And that is quite bizarre, even for me to look back on now. But I thought I'd show the process by posting that video on my Vimeo. So it's really cool you saw that.
You had mentioned that you had started from the very beginning working on the Lego game franchise, and the Lego games span so many franchises: Indiana Jones, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, Ninjago, The Hobbit, The Incredibles. The list goes on. Is there a franchise that the Lego games haven't tapped into yet that you would absolutely love to be a part of?
Ooh, really, really good question. Oh, I know that there are a bunch. I mean, I would find it so interesting to do like a Lego Matrix or something like that. Can you imagine that?
That would be good. That would be very good.
Yeah, because there are different things that are challenging to animate, but definitely for me, up there is like any kind of combat, any kind of fights, whether it's hand-to-hand combat or even anything with a lightsaber or anything like that, But it would just be so interesting imagining the humor as well that we could put into that, so it's suitable for children.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that answer a lot. That Matrix. I actually only watched the first Matrix for the first time, I think last year. Which
Are you kidding?
I'm
Really?
embarrassed to say that. Yes, of course. But yeah,
Wow.
it was never something like, because obviously growing up, I'm like 23, so like growing up on the internet, like something like the Matrix has been like big, and everybody just knows about it. And but for some reason, for me, it turned me off on it. I just didn't care to watch it. But then my partner sat me down, showed me the first one, and it's safe to say that I do love it. So that would be a perfect franchise to really tap into.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I envy you for having your first time not too long ago, because, yeah, I mean, with that, I mean, because The Matrix is just like yeah, I don't know. I just have lots of memories. Yeah, seeing that franchise.
So, you're not just a one-trick pony with just animation. Like, you also do amazing voice impressions. And I want to ask you this, taking you back to when you first started figuring out that you can do that. What was the first impression that you actually did that made you go, "Oh, I could do more of these"?
Um, so when I was a teenager, my parents and I were in Florida, first time in America, um, just for a couple of weeks or so, and yeah, just going through all of the Disneyland sites, like Disney World and Epcot Center and everything. I actually got to use this very random voice booth. It was like after seeing a presentation of how they do sound effects in cartoons and things like that. And it allowed me to actually revoice an old Mickey Mouse cartoon because it had the subtitles on there. So I still remember my dad reacting to it because he was stood behind me and he started chuckling because it just kind of came out of me in that moment because I wasn't given time to lead into it. I was trying to figure this thing out. I hit the button and it just started playing the subtitles, and so because I'd seen lots of Mickey Mouse cartoons, for some reason, because I was just trying to dive into it and keep up, I was kind of like, whoosh, oh boy, they were all over me, left, right, left. So I let them have it, like that, and just started like really bringing it out. My dad just reacting behind me. So people like Robin Williams just inspired me, and so I started trying to figure out like how do people change their voices like that. It's like what else can I do, and it developed from there.
You can do a very wide range of voice impressions and all that kind of sorts. Walk me through the process when you're trying to figure out how to execute a voice impression to the best you can make it. Talk me through how you research how to do it and the actual execution itself.
I think it was only about a year or so ago I've really started trying to break it down, like, because quite a few of them are instinctual. It's like just a matter of listening um, and just really trying to get into the character, like seeing the movements and everything. But since I've started breaking it down, I've noticed certain things about myself, like like how the heck it actually happens. Um, well, what I generally do, I really try and physicalize the character, you know, um, because I first find myself paying attention to what kind of tone they have, like whether it's I have to kind of like go very low, like right down in the stomach, or if it's like yeah, I mean like if I talk like very low, right down in the stomach, you kind of get that bass, sort of like that, but then if I kind of bring it, a little bit up here, it can be more in the throat and talk a bit like that, and use less lung capacity, like that, or I can get it even higher, like that. And when you find the right tone, then there's just trying to find the pronunciation, and you pick up on certain habits that they have. Everyone has certain traits in their speech. Mickey has that little chuckle, that haha thing. Where Peter Griffin has his classic little giggle thing, as well. So it's just being aware of those and using them from time to time, as well. Um, and like for instance, he passed away not long ago. Gilbert Godfrey, um, yeah, who just very recently passed away. Is a big inspiration of mine in terms of voice. He had one of the most unique voices. I mean, he did the voice of Iago from Aladdin. So, and I've done Gilbert Godfrey impressions for like maybe a couple of years now or so, and seems to be my alter ego. It's easy to impersonate. Just yeah, but like when I think back to even movies where Gilbert Godfrey was in, I find that when I do it, whether people can see me or not, my eyes get really squinty. I really pronounce everything, like that. Show my teeth quite a lot, like him. And I almost kind of hunch over like him as well. And when I'm kind of gesturing, because I have to gesture because everything he says is purposeful, I I sort of gesture with my whole arm, like this, and so eventually, if I turn my mic down a little bit because, but what kind of comes out is kind of like It's like, oh, I am so happy to be here, being interviewed on you on this podcast. I mean, this is so good. I mean, how things have developed over time. Like that. So yeah,
I love that. I love that
yeah.
so much.
So you can see that the tension, and everything. So that's how it comes out.
You kind of embody the character that you're actually mimicking, right? That kind of.
Yeah, the cartoon character, or the anime character, the celebrity. If I don't physicalize it, it won't come out properly. Yeah, so it takes more than people expect.
Recently, I'd say one of your more recent projects that have actually released, it's Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, which has been in a highly anticipated, and I feel is one of the best games I've played in a long damn time. How was the process with cramming in 9 full games into one experience? How was that for you guys?
Ooh, wow. Not easy. I mean, yeah, I knew that the people who, the people who wrote that just had to find a way of cramming it down, and also paying attention to having scenes where there was plenty of opportunity for just fantastic humor and just great storytelling, at the same time, just so it could all make sense and all blend together. I think so basically, I didn't really have much of a hand in that, but occasionally when I was given a new cutscene to do over like I guess 2 and a bit years I worked on it. I worked, I think, on cutscenes on that were part of like each episode. Some more than others, and it was always exciting at times, just being given the next cutscene, just not knowing like if you're gonna get like a classic heart-wrenching moment in it, a really cool fight, or if you're gonna get droids in it. But it's just really impressive, just how the team came together to pull this off. They put their hearts and souls into it, just not wanting to let die-hard Star Wars fans down. Just get all of this in. Yeah, they made it work.
What's your favorite Star Wars trilogy? Careful.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Am I sweating? Okay. Nothing really beats the original. Because
good safe answer.
Yeah. Because I rewatched the original. I think it was last year during lockdown with my girlfriend. It was like it was very special because she had never seen it before, and yeah. So basically, I kind of envied her. It was her idea. She said, "Okay, I'm open to watching one Star Wars movie. We'll see how it goes. If I want to carry on." And just the whole reaction, just seeing her at that moment that everybody knows Luke. It's like, no, I am your father. It's just incredible. So, yeah, it's. Even just working on the game, just looking at the behind the scenes sometimes, and just really appreciating what went into it. It's just incredible.
One final question to send off the wind down. Using your favorite impression, tell me why it's your favorite impression.
Oh wow. Okay, my favorite impression. Okay. I think I have a few favorite impressions, but one of them would be okay. Let's see.
Well, one of my favorite impressions would be Elmo, because Elmo is a cute little monster, and Elmo makes everybody swoon.
Listen, thank you so much for stopping on by and joining us for another episode of the Wind Down. I appreciate it. And is there anything else you'd like to send off the episode with?
Oh yes. I would say yeah, be sure to follow my social media, especially Instagram and TikTok. It's both the same, Chris Woodworth VO, all one word. Yeah, and right there, right below. And Yeah, feel free to reach out to me if you do want any pointers on how to get started in voice acting. I know that quite a few people get at a bit of a loss at that. I'm happy to help you out, and just embrace your own voice, love your own voice, stay awesome.